Hello, guys. It's Editing Kimstrology here, and I'm back with another birth chart giveaway. This time, I just need you in the comment section to be the first one to quote one of my examples for the darker side of how Moon in Partner's 8th house can play out. Again, if you can be the first to comment one of my examples for how the darker side of Moon in Partner's 8th house synastry can play itself out in real life, then you will win a free birth chart reading from me. This will be 30 minutes, at least, audio reading. Upon you quoting, contact me directly, or I'll contact you to get your email. And then from there, I will email you your free birth chart reading. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoy. Bye. Astro tea. This time before we get started, you guys don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and turn on your notification bell so you will be notified when I post, if you choose to. Let's get into it. So this is a requested video, another synastry video. So just to touch base on what synastry is. Synastry is the relationship of two people, how one person affects another. You take one chart and you overlay it over another chart, and you see where each person's planets fall in another planet's houses, and even the conjunctions that a person's planets make to another. This is synastry. So we have a partner's moon going into another partner's 8th house. First of all, the moon is the planet of our emotions. It's like our primal, innate nature, our feelings, how we like to be nurtured. It's also our mothering experience, how we were nurtured by the more maternal parent. It's also, again, our more knee-jerk reactions, just unexplainable emotional state. This is the moon. And it's basically very changeable energy, and it does represent the physical body as well, and also like the hormonal system. Now when we have the moon, the 8th house is about sex, death, crisis, transformation, change, other people's money, inheritances, shared resources. It's associated with the planet Pluto and the sign Scorpio. So we have the moon is associated with the sign of Cancer in the 4th house. So these are two water energies. So when we have a person's moon going into another partner's 8th house, this is a deep connection. Whether it depends on the sign, the nature of the relationship, but no matter what, whether it's sexual or platonic, it's going to be deep. It's going to be very intense and very intimate. Usually this is a person that becomes a close friend, a lover, or the 8th house energy is very polarizing energy. So you're going to end up loving or hating this person after the experience with them, or there's just going to be, it's going to be very difficult to kind of like unstick one another. Now usually it's I would say the eighth house person that might feel this more, but it's really both, because the moon, this is your moon. This is your like most personal compartment of yourself, you know. So when you have your moon going to somebody's eighth house, it's like you've really accepted like the deeper, darker parts of them. This is the part of our life that we kind of try to keep hidden, that we don't really like people to see. It's the house of crisis. It's the house of like that problem area. So a person's moon going there, you guys could either have some kind of emotional issues. This could even be power games, mind games, manipulation. You got to be careful with people's planets going into your water houses, because again, you could be heavily tied in with them. So if the nature of the relationship is negative, you could see it could be very toxic. The eighth house is associated with the sign of Scorpio, which rules over the excretory system. I think I'm saying that correctly, and like the release of toxins and all that. Like, this is Scorpio energy. So yeah, like the eighth house can be a toxic house depending on like what's going on there. So somebody's moon going on there, first of all, what they moon doing there? Like, do they care a lot about your secrets and your problems and what you're keeping away from the world? Because they're going to know a lot about your more intimate side, and you them as well. Like, this is a very vulnerable area and energy for both parties. Now if they care about you and they do have your best interest at heart, like this is somebody that can be very nurturing when it comes to your crisis, even like help you when you're in time of trouble and or need. You know, they could definitely go out of their way for you and be like kind of like a mother figure to you when it comes to those times you feel like you're kind of in the dark. But again, this is definitely going to depend on the sign that the moon is in the sign that the moon and house is in, what aspects this person's moon is making in their own chart, like how their own emotional nature is on their own matters a lot, as far as what energy they're then bringing into your eighth house. Because if there's somebody that's super manipulative or emotionally intense or emotionally unsettled or has any kind of like toxic emotional problems that they haven't really healed or dealt with, they're going to be bringing that to your house of crisis. It can make, and this is a house of like psychology as well, so they could again essentially drive you crazy on the darker scale. There could be a sense between you, especially between the moon person, that you guys kind of had a familiar background or similar problems, because again, the moon is the roots, you know. It represents like family, and it's your emotion, your like your inner side, your emotional side, is because it's basically, again, it's your primal nature. It's a part of you that's been with you since you were a kid. It's your emotional nature kind of got developed when you were growing up. So it's something about this person's darker side really triggers that part of you, you know. So, you know, sometimes I can see this as like relationships that are kind of based around like sex, or even like taboo topics like astrology or mysticism, witchcraft, rituals, things of that nature. You two could bond when it comes to those topics as well. That's all I have for moon in the 8th house. Let me know if you guys have any requests. Otherwise, stay tuned for Moon and Partners 7th house up next. This is your girl Kimstrology. Thank you guys for tuning in as always, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.